What's up, YouTube? It's Marsha the Mogul, and yes, I know it's been some time since I've been on here, but welcome to my channel. If this is your first time on this channel, welcome. If you are a returning subscriber, I want to say thank you for your support. I finally made it to 400 subscribers. Small, but we celebrate small wins. And in today's video, I wanted to catch you up a little bit about what I've been doing lately, and also to kind of educate you on what you need to know before you start investing, right? So I actually recently got my life license earlier this year, which gives me an entryway to getting my securities license. Securities license means I am going to become an actual financial advisor. Now, becoming a financial advisor is not something I seen in my community growing up, but it's something that I always dreamed of becoming. I didn't really even know what it was. Growing up, I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. And you can watch some of my old videos, my first videos that I posted on the YouTube channel. And I was talking about this, like the fact that I want to be wearing the suits, showing graphs, and like I just always seen myself doing that. But as I got older, you know, my attention shifted, right? I got introduced to different things, different people. So I had to find my way back. And this year I met an amazing person. I wouldn't say amazing, but I met someone. And it changed my mindset. And once I was introduced to it, I just knew it was for me. I probably was hesitant the first time around it came, but once I got that second call, I was like, sign me up, because I was ready for the calling. I was actually ready to answer the call that God had for my life, which is to be a financial advisor, someone who helps individuals invest simply on a bigger scale. Because right now, as y'all know, I'm a credit repair specialist, certified. I'm a tax preparer, certified. And I also help entrepreneurs like yourself start businesses. So I've been in the game for a while, but taking it up to the next level is what I did this year. So I also have other videos on my channel about wealth accumulation and asset accumulation. And this is something that I've always kind of understood. And I've come to find out that this knowledge is not common for a lot of people, right? Because a lot of people don't have interest in personal finance, and a lot of people don't have these conversations in their household. When I say a lot of people, I'm speaking about the demographic that I represent: Black people, Black women, people that grew up in the hood, as some people like to call it. These are not conversations that we had. Nobody talked about life insurance because, in a way, there's a lot of negativity attached to life insurance, right? But me, as I got older and I had my own children, you know, I understood the importance of having a safety net. And that's really all life insurance is. It's a safety net. I'm not here to convince anybody to set up a fund or leave money to their loved ones. But what's saddening, what hurts, is to see people setting up GoFundMes and trying to gather $20,000 in 1 week. And what's also sad is seeing people take care of other people's children without the necessary resources. So these are things that even if I continue to ignore them, they are still present. And this is why, I mean, when I got that call, I answered this time, because this is truly my calling. So I want to be that person for you, right? A lot of people are like, well, I didn't get taught this growing up. This is what my clients say all the time. I wasn't taught this growing up. I didn't know, you know, nobody sat me down and had this conversation with me. I get it. I get it. And that's why you're watching this video, because you want to make a change. You want a mindset shift. And it might have come to you as an epiphany from what you're seeing on social media. It also could have came to you in reality. Maybe you had a reality check and you looked at your bank account and you realized that your bank account was not a reflection of who you were. And I battled with this for a long time. Depending on how much money I had in my bank account, that's what I attached to my self-worth. And trust me, if you're living a paycheck to paycheck, my bank account was not hefty, okay? Before I started my businesses, before I built my clientele, I was pretty much paycheck to paycheck. That's the only income that I could rely on. But by empowering myself, by learning how to invest in the stock market, by starting my side business, by increasing my credit score and leveraging my credit, by learning about the different tax strategies that are used, I was able to just live a more abundant lifestyle. I went from a scarcity lifestyle to an abundance lifestyle because I started to educate myself. And that's what I want you to do. This video is simply to let you know that it's very important to educate yourself. I know it sounds very obvious. Like, I get it. Okay, go learn some stuff. No, I really mean learn. What you don't understand, that's what you need to educate yourself on. Do you know what the rule of 72 is? Do you understand what compound interest is? Do you know the difference between principal, face value? Do you know the difference between a mutual funds account and a single stock? If none of these things make sense to you, then you probably need to get started on learning the basics of financing and money, how money works. Money is a tool. And if you don't know how to use that tool, you become a slave to it. And so many people have become modern day slaves when making money, right? A lot of people are stuck on a job, stuck in debt, stuck living paycheck to paycheck, don't have a little extra room to save or invest, don't have energy to start that business. And I told myself a long time ago, I'm not going to be stuck. I'm not going to be living off the government all my life. I'm not going to be living paycheck to paycheck all my life. So even when I did have a little bit of money, the first thing I even invested in was like acorns, right? When you first get your feet wet, right, you might go on Cash App, you might download Robinhood, you might download Acorns, and I think it's important, right? Because ETFs, they don't make a high return, but if you're new to investing and you just want to understand how it works, that's a great entry point. For me, it was like, okay, I understood compound interest, I understood Rule of 72, which told me I needed to start investing as soon as possible. Not in my 30s, not in my 40s, but now, right, in my 20s. That's one thing I did understand. So my goal always was to have some type of steady income to where I'm able to automatically save money until I can get an investment account. So that's what I did. The first time I saved $1,000, I did that by literally, I was making $500 a week, and I was probably saving like $25, $50 here and there. And then if I ever got like extra monies from something, I would just add it to that, and I raised $1,000. And I was like 19 years old. That was the first time I ever saved up $1,000. That's the first time I had held that amount of money. And I'm being very transparent with y'all because I want you to understand. I want you to relate. I don't want you to think that accomplishing financial freedom is hard. And I know financial freedom sounds so cliche, but when I say financial freedom, I really mean financial independence, where you're not wondering how you're going to pay for that emergency if it comes up. You're not worrying about your car if it were to get into an accident. You can actually afford insurance. You can actually afford to get your repairs done. You can actually afford nice things that will help you in the long run. And I don't mean like materialistic things, but you got the best insurance. You got the best coverage. Like all those types of things, it pays. Like it matters. Don't go the cheap route. Like when you have a scarcity mindset, most people are like, I just want the cheapest thing. Give me the cheapest. No, sometimes the cheapest thing is not the best thing. And y'all know this when y'all buy clothes. Y'all know, ladies, when we go on Shein, because I know majority of y'all done bought a Shein outfit before or still continue to buy. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But you also go in here and there, and you might want to go, I don't know, Bloomingdale's or let's say Nordstrom. And you might want to get you some marine sear. What the girls be wearing. You might want to get you a nice little luxury piece. Not to say that the Shein clothes don't have any value to it, but just compare. How many wears you going to get out of that Shein outfit versus that marine sear? Let's be honest. How many more times can you wash that Burberry or that Gucci versus that Shein outfit before it actually is no good? Right? We comparing fast fashion. Chase Bank is really an investment company. So I went to them. Like, look, I got $1,000. I got a grand right here. I want to put my money in the stock market. The lady politely told me, like, look, ma'am, you don't have enough. She didn't say that verbatim, but she pretty much told me that that wasn't enough for them to manage. Like, they're a wealth management company. They're not sitting here trying to manage $1,000. As far as that banker, I don't even think she'll probably get that much commission off of that. So that told me what it did to me. It made me feel angry enough to do something about it. It made me mad enough. You got to get mad about something. For you to want to change your lifestyle, you have to get mad about something. You got to get rejected. You got to put yourself out there. And putting myself out there in a bank, not knowing nothing about investment, it changed my mindset. Right? I went to school for finance. I know how to invest in the stock market. These are all things I learned in the classroom. But when I got into the real world, I couldn't really apply it. Right? I couldn't apply it because I didn't have any experience. So it took me to get a no. It took me to get doors closed in my face. It took me rejection to reach to where I'm currently at, which is why I have an account now and I can invest as much as I want. I can pick the companies that I want to invest in, and I already know how to read a prospectus. These are things that I had to learn along the way. So along with you educating yourself, your mindset should shift. Right? So the first thing I want you to do is get acquainted with financial terminology. Right? Why do we file taxes? Why do we pay taxes on the income that we make? Why do we get a refund, right? When we talk about credit, what makes up a credit score? What are the 5 factors of your credit score? What determines a credit score? Another thing is how to start a business. How much money do you need to make a day to make $100,000 in 1 year? We all know this is $275. Let's just say approximately. If you were to make $275 a day, you will have $100,000, $100K in 1 year. So what does that look like for a business that you could start? What's something that you could sell at $274 once a day? I'm just keeping it simple. These are the questions that we start to ask ourselves when we get angry enough to do something about it. So I was angry enough to do something about it. And I put myself out there constantly. I made sure I wasn't the smartest person in the room. I made sure that after I got the knowledge, I went to apply it. And even if I applied it wrong or incorrectly, that's fine. It's okay to do it wrong until you get it right. But that's where mentorship comes into place. And that's what we started talking about, investing in yourself. Because when you invest in yourself, like when you actually put money into furthering your mindset, furthering your experience, when you put money into that, that's like your intellectual property. Nobody can ever take that away from you. So if you invest in a mentor and they give you the game and they give you pretty much, they help you skip a couple steps, right? Instead of you going and doing trial and error like I had to, you find somebody who knows exactly what steps to take, right? What's important, right? If we put things into steps, the first thing you need to do is have an emergency fund. How can we talk about investing and saving when you cannot save for an emergency fund? Traditionally, you want to save up to 3 to 6 months worth of expenses, realistically. But me personally, I started with $1,000. Once I was able to save $1,000, I knew I could save more. And then I was ready to invest. But let's just start there. Your emergency fund. That's important. Number 2 is you want to adjust your taxes, right? You want to make sure that you're not overpaying Uncle Sam and you're not underpaying Uncle Sam, because a lot of people lose money by paying too much in taxes, right? And another third thing you want to do is eliminate your debt. Now, I know that's hard. We live in America. Everybody lives off debt. When I say eliminate your debt, I mean all the unnecessary spending, all the unnecessary debt, all the bad debt that you have. And we know the difference between bad debt and good debt. We'll get into that on another video. But getting rid of all the unnecessary debt, once you clear that up, it allows for more cash flow. So not only are you able to free up cash flow through taxes, but now you just freed up cash flow by eliminating unnecessary debt. And then the fourth step is investing. Once you have saved up for an emergency fund, you have maximized your taxes, and you have cleared up unnecessary debt, you should have the cash flow to invest. Even if it's $50 a week, that's $200 a month. That's reasonable. And when you take $200 and you put that in an investment account, and we're not even gonna get into rate of returns, but when you put that in an investment account, because y'all know money loses value today, right? It's worth more now than it will be in the future. With that being said, you want to get that money growing. Money likes to be multiplied. Money don't mind being added and subtracted, but money loves to be multiplied. Money loves that. That's why I love investing, because I feel like that is the highest potential that money can perform on. Like, that's the quickest way to get your money doubled. You know what I mean? It's to invest it. You can go work overtime, double time, but then you lose time and you're tired versus just letting money do what it does, which is multiply. So 4 things I want you to do before you start investing. Well, 3 things. You got to build up an emergency fund. Number 2, you got to maximize your taxes. You got to look at where your money is going with your taxes. Are you underpaying? Are you overpaying? And thirdly, eliminate unnecessary debt. Once you've conquered those 3 things, then you can move into investing. Now, I'll be honest with you. It's fine. You don't have to do it all in order, right? But it's a strategy. And remember, money is a tool. So you have to be strategic with it. Yeah, you could start investing today. But then think about it. If you have unnecessary debt, I'm sure some of that debt is carrying high interest. So as much as you're investing, that money is still piling up in debt. Or for instance, you're investing your money and you have an emergency that comes up. Now all the money you invested, you have to use it for that emergency because you put the cart before the horse. But we're going to go more into this in depth. My main point here is ignorance is the most expensive skill set. You not knowing is not a good enough excuse to why your finances are the way that they are. Because 20, 30 years from now, you're going to wish you did take action now. And that's why I'm putting up this video, because I want to have a serious conversation with y'all, right? I don't want my people to continue to perish because of the lack of knowledge. Because once I found out about this information, I was like, oh my God, where have I been my whole entire life? Why was I focused on this instead of this? And it was just an epiphany that I had. And along with that epiphany, I just felt so bad that so many other people didn't have this information. And I took it upon myself to become a crusader. So if y'all enjoyed this video, I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for y'all. If y'all enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments, what other topics do we need to go into? What is it that you want to learn about when it comes to finances? Maybe I should do a series, right? Maybe I could go through the 4 or 5 main components of money and how we use it in personal finance, right? Because we all deal with taxes. We all deal with credit, especially if you live in the United States. I know other countries are different, but for where I live, everybody has to deal with credit. Everybody has to deal with taxes. Everybody pretty much needs an income to live here. So let's break down how we live, how we manage that from an abundance perspective. So I'm glad to be back. I'm going to be more consistent because I have a whole lot of knowledge to share with y'all. And I want to help you learn beyond what you should have learned, right? Yeah, they should have taught you this, but I'm going to tell you this plus more because I want to see y'all win. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. So peace and prosperity, money moguls. Y'all take care.